In the aftermath of the Second World War, armored warfare entered a new era. The lessons of Europe had been learned in blood, fire, and steel. Tanks had proven decisive in both breakthrough operations and defensive battles. But as the 1940s gave way to the 1950s, a new kind of battlefield emerged, one dominated not by the Axis and Allies, but by the looming tension of the Cold War. In this new era, the Soviet Union sought to produce a tank that could define the next generation of armored warfare, a tank that could dominate Europe, Asia, and any theater in which the Red Army might be called to fight. That tank was the T-55. The T-55 was the culmination of Soviet tank design philosophy, building on the experience of the T-34 and the post-war T-54, combining proven simplicity with modern upgrades. Its roots lay in the immediate post-World War II period, as the Soviet Union sought a universal main battle tank capable of replacing the older wartime models. Designers aimed to produce a machine that was simple, reliable, heavily armed, and easily manufactured, while able to withstand the realities of the atomic age. The tank entered service in 1958, quickly becoming the backbone of Soviet armored forces. It was designed to be fast, durable, and versatile, capable of engaging enemy armor, supporting infantry, and operating in a variety of climates and terrains, from the frozen steppes of Siberia to the deserts of the Middle East. Its widespread production and adaptability made the T-55 not only a symbol of Soviet engineering, but also one of the most ubiquitous tanks of the 20th century. At its core, the T-55 was a product of practical engineering. It featured a low, rounded turret to reduce visibility and vulnerability, a design philosophy inherited from the T-54, which had itself been inspired by the T-34. The tank's main armament was a 100mm D-10T rifled gun, capable of firing a range of ammunition types, including high-explosive, armor-piercing, and later, chemical rounds. This gun was paired with a coaxial 7.62mm machine gun and a roof-mounted 12.7mm machine gun, giving the crew a full spectrum of anti-personnel and anti-light armor capability. One of the defining features of the T-55 was its armor protection. The frontal armor measured between 100 and 200 mm, depending on the angle and location, providing substantial protection against most contemporary anti-tank weapons of the 1950s. Soviet engineers also introduced an NBC, nuclear, biological and chemical protection system, reflecting the growing fear of atomic warfare. This system allowed the T-55 to operate in contaminated areas, a stark reminder that armored warfare had entered the era of total destruction. Mobility was another cornerstone of the T-55's design. Powered by a V55, 12-cylinder diesel engine, producing around 580 horsepower, the tank could reach speeds of up to 50 km per hour on roads, with a range of approximately 500 km. Its torsion bar suspension allowed it to traverse rough terrain with relative ease, maintaining speed over mud, snow, and uneven ground. Unlike heavier Western tanks of the era, the T-55 prioritized operational mobility, reflecting Soviet doctrine of rapid advances and large-scale armored maneuvers. The T-55's simplicity was also a key factor in its legendary reliability. Unlike Western designs, which often required complex maintenance, the T-55 could be repaired in the field with minimal equipment. Its components were robust and modular, allowing crews to perform essential repairs quickly, often under combat conditions. This durability made it an ideal tank for widespread production, and by the 1960s, thousands of T-55s were being manufactured across the Soviet Union, with many exported to allied nations and client states. The T-55 first saw widespread combat during the Hungarian Revolution of 1956, where Soviet forces deployed it to suppress uprisings against the Warsaw Pact. Its performance in urban combat, combined with its firepower and armored protection, made it a formidable presence, intimidating insurgents and demonstrating the capabilities of modern Soviet armor. Throughout the 1960s and 1970s, the T-55 became a global symbol of Soviet influence. It was exported to more than 50 countries, appearing on battlefields from the Middle East to Africa and Southeast Asia. In the Yom Kippur War of 1973, Egyptian and Syrian forces relied heavily on T-55s in their attacks against Israeli positions. Despite facing advanced Western tanks like the Centurion and M60, the T-55 proved resilient in large-scale armored engagements, particularly when employed en masse in combined arms operations. Its numbers often allowed it to overwhelm technologically superior opponents through massed firepower and coordinated maneuvers. However, the T-55 was not without its vulnerabilities. Its armor, while formidable in the 1950s, became increasingly susceptible to modern anti-tank weapons, including high-velocity rounds and shaped charges. Its 100mm gun, although effective against most medium tanks, struggled against newer main battle tanks such as the M60, Leopard 1, and Chieftain. Nonetheless, Soviet doctrine emphasized quantity, speed, and combined arms tactics over individual tank superiority, allowing the T-55 to remain effective for decades despite technological limitations. One of the most innovative aspects of the T-55 was its adaptability. Over its service life, it was modified into a wide range of specialized variants. These included mine-clearing tanks, bridge layers, command vehicles, and chemical reconnaissance vehicles. Later upgrades added night vision equipment, improved engines, and enhanced armor, extending its combat relevance well into the 1980s and beyond. The T-55's modular design allowed armies around the world to maintain, upgrade, and adapt it to their specific tactical needs, making it one of the most versatile tanks ever produced. In the late 20th century, the T-55 continued to see action in conflicts around the globe. It was used extensively in the Iran and Iraq wars, the Gulf War, and various African conflicts, demonstrating both its durability and the continuing relevance of Soviet tank design philosophy. In many cases, the T-55's simplicity and robustness allowed it to outlast more advanced but maintenance-intensive Western designs, particularly in environments where logistics and spare parts were limited. The T-55's influence on tank design extended beyond its immediate service. Its low profile, rounded turret, and diesel engine became standard features in later Soviet main battle tanks, including the T-62, T-72, and T-80. Its emphasis on mobility, reliability, and ease of production reflected a broader Soviet approach to armored warfare, favoring tanks that could be produced in large numbers, deployed widely, and maintained in diverse conditions. In this sense, the T-55 was both a product of its time and a blueprint for the future of armored combat. Despite being surpassed by newer tanks, the T-55 remains in service in some countries even in the 21st century. Its longevity is a testament to its design philosophy, a simple, reliable, and adaptable tank that could meet the diverse demands of armored warfare. Its presence on modern battlefields, often upgraded with reactive armor or modern fire control systems, underscores its continued relevance, even decades after its initial introduction. The T-55 tank also holds a unique place in military history for its psychological impact. Its widespread deployment created a perception of overwhelming Soviet armored might. In wars across the Middle East and Africa, the mere presence of T-55 units often forced opponents to alter their tactics, delay operations, or retreat. Its combination of numbers, firepower, and resilience made it a cornerstone of Soviet and Allied armored strategy, cementing its reputation as a reliable and fearsome machine. In examining the T-55, one sees more than just a machine of war. One sees a philosophy of design rooted in practicality, efficiency, and adaptability. Soldiers who served in T-55s often spoke of its simplicity and reliability, describing it as a tank that could keep moving even when damaged, a machine that trusted its crew as much as the crew trusted it. It was not the fastest or the most powerful tank of its era, but it was dependable, durable, and overwhelmingly numerous, a combination that proved decisive in countless conflicts. The T-55's legacy extends beyond combat statistics. It influenced armored doctrine, production methods, and battlefield strategy around the world. It demonstrated that a tank's success was not solely determined by armor thickness or gun caliber, but by reliability, ease of use, tactical integration, and sheer numbers. For decades, the T-55 symbolized Soviet engineering, the realities of Cold War strategy, and the continuing evolution of armored warfare. Today, surviving T-55s can be found in museums, military parades, and private collections, standing as reminders of a time when armored dominance defined global power. They are a testament to engineering pragmatism, a reminder that sometimes simplicity and reliability can outweigh raw technological sophistication. For historians and enthusiasts, the T-55 offers a window into Cold War military thinking, Soviet industrial capability, and the enduring principles of tank design. In the end, the T-55 tank was more than a vehicle, it was a weapon, a symbol, and a lesson. It carried soldiers through conflicts that spanned continents, climates, and decades. It adapted to new challenges, incorporated technological upgrades, and became a template for future generations of tanks. Its story is one of persistence, innovation, and the enduring impact of practical, well-considered design. The T-55 tank, with its low profile, powerful 100mm gun, and remarkable durability, remains one of the most iconic armored vehicles of the 20th century. Its presence on the battlefield, its adaptability, and its longevity ensured that it would be remembered not merely as a tool of war, but as a testament to the enduring principles of armored warfare. In understanding the T-55, we understand the evolution of tank design, the demands of Cold War conflict, and the ingenuity that allowed a simple, reliable machine to shape the course of history for decades.